Well, hey there. How are you, Ty?
Good, Maji. How are you? Good morning.
I'm good. I'm good. So we are here to discuss your new endeavor, which is very exciting. Very excited to introduce STEMTRee, which is an education center, and it's going to be in Coral Gables. And I think it's really interesting. So why don't you take it away? Tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. So STEM Tree is a K through 12 after school education center that teaches science, math, computer coding, electrical engineering, and robotics.
That's fantastic. Such a need for that. I mean, that's just really that's the way, that's the future. That's the future. And I
Exactly.
don't see that changing anytime soon. I think we're going to be seeing a demand for that for the foreseeable future.
100%. Whether in AI,
I was just
biotech,
thinking that. I'm like,
energy, yeah, exactly. Material science, I project that for at least for the next century, this will be the century of STEM.
yeah,
Uh,
I
and
agree.
these jobs are being added to the economy at one study that I read, STEM jobs are being added to the economy at a rate of 15%, compounded annual growth rate per year. And most of these jobs pay in the six figures, even
Yeah,
starting.
yeah. So STEM is for K through 12, right?
Mhm.
And okay, so why did you select STEM? I know a little bit of your backstory, but let's share.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure, of course. So I grew up in Crown Heights, Brooklyn in the 80s and 90s. And I, from a very young age, had interest in all things science. I think I might have mentioned to you before that I won or I got third place in the sixth grade science fair. I'm still very proud of that.
Oh, science nerd, science nerd. Hey,
That's
science,
right.
the nerds rule the world. Go ahead.
100%. So, everything from, reading, the Arthur C. Clarke and getting into science fiction growing up and all the things, right? So I was the kid that you knew who wanted to be a doctor, wanted to be an astronaut, all these things. However, I really struggled to find academic opportunities that would allow me to really develop those both the skills and the interest.
I mean, it's
Uh,
amazing
and the
that
and
you had those dreams because I know that you grew up in a rough neighborhood
That's right,
with
exactly
not a
right.
lot of I would imagine a lot of opportunity. So this
That's
is
right.
yeah, that's
So there's no internet. So everything was done by looking in the newspaper, going down to the local library, asking the librarian, where the billboard was that, had like the pinups from, different schools that are offering certain programs. And this was me, as a 10-year-old, looking for opportunities. So I always imagined that if I had the opportunity, I would try to create an environment for children to be able to fast track themselves and really develop both the interest and the aptitude, and develop those skills using a venue that was not available to me when I was growing up.
exactly opportunities that you didn't have growing
Exactly,
up. You're trying to give to other other generations. That's amazing. So
100%.
who would, I mean, tell us a little bit about STEM, like why did you select them? And um, how did you get involved with them and where are they located? I know it's a franchise,
That's
but
right.
where are they located and why STEM?
Sure. So as you said, it is a franchise. The headquarters is in Virginia, Northern Virginia. There are at least 20 or so branches all over the United States. This will be the first one in South Florida. Uh, STEM, I got into STEM because, again, my early childhood interests, and then I joined the military after 9/11. And interestingly, I was successful, at least moderately successful, in finding those STEM educational opportunities, even though they were few and far between. In Brooklyn, New York, so I ended up going to a school called the Bronx High School of Science. For any listener who is from New York, they probably heard of it. Then I went to NYU. I concentrated in physics, joined the military after 9/11, spent the first 7 years in aviation, the last 13 years in intelligence. STEM
Yeah.
has always been a part of my journey. Uh, And then as I started coming up upon retirement, uh, I started evaluating. I knew that I wanted to do something in education, but I also knew that I didn't want to spend 3 years in content/product development.
Right.
Consequently, I wanted to look for a franchise that had a proven model, and of course, military people are very good at executing plans. So between that and whatever business savvy I hope I have as a result of getting my MBA, I wanted to again create something that was accessible for the kids. I chose STEMtree specifically after having evaluated a lot of the franchise competitors, because I felt like STEMtree hit the right note between being fun and being academically rigorous. So some of what I was looking at, again, it was a lot of fun, but it wasn't cumulative. The child wasn't building any skills.
Okay.
Uh,
So
and then
this one is
Mhm.
like, okay, yeah, because it's important to have fun with education
That's
because
right. You
by
don't
you,
want it to feel like school 2.0.
right, you're going to lose them. Right. Yeah, I think that's it's key. So basically you start at K, but let's say a student, I don't know, somebody in junior year or even in senior year decides, you know what, I think I'm kind of want to do this. Would that be a good candidate for your center?
Absolutely. The STEM tree services high schoolers all the time. We put together customized learning plans for them. So that might mean that they want to prepare to get into an advanced placement course. Maybe they're having challenges in the advanced placement course. And of course, when you pass an advanced placement exam, you get college credit. So the investment that you make in STEMtree, you'll see an immediate return on that investment by the time you go to college.
Hmm.
If you enter freshman year with half a year of credits already under your belt, then that's less that you have to pay in tuition. You could do the math on that.
Wow.
And if it's something like, biology, you might be able to get a job, a part-time job working in a lab when you're a sophomore.
Wow.
If you
Oh, this
if
is a
you
big deal.
study computer coding, yeah, absolutely. If you study computer coding, then you can get a job as a, junior programmer while you're still an undergrad. The Interestingly, when I went to NYU, and paying for NYU was not easy, I was
Mhm.
entirely self-funded. Uh, Freshman year, I was making $5.50 an hour working at a clothing store. By senior year, I was making $35 an hour as as a junior tech consultant.
Mhm.
The reason why is because I took, in addition to the science classes I was taking, I took front end computer coding classes, and then I immediately signed up for a bunch of internships. But my point in raising all this is that by investing in my ability to develop technical skills, it made paying for junior and senior year of college significantly easier. And it meant that I was able to get a very good job well before graduating from undergrad. So I already had something lined up for myself.
You know,
Uh,
it kind of makes you, I
mhm.
mean, in hearing all of this, I'm hearing like that's really makes you uniquely qualified to do this and to advise families because you went through it. So
I
you,
went through it.
right, you went through it personally. I mean,
That's
that's
right.
hard. Like, you know, you know exactly the steps that need to be taken to set a student up for success.
Absolutely.
And so, and what would be the advantage of, I don't know, okay, kindergarten?
Well, kindergarten, that is, so I'm sure you're familiar with like neuroplasticity. Our children are all smarter than us.
Yes,
Uh, so the earlier you learn things, right, whether it's swimming, something that I'm terrible at, or a foreign language, which is something else I'm terrible at, uh, you know, you can argue that if I had been exposed to either of those things at a younger age, it
for
would have been a
sure,
lot easier for
for
me.
sure. Yeah, I mean, I
So
being
yeah,
bilingual, if I wasn't exposed to Spanish as a young kid,
100%.
I don't,
Exactly.
it would have been that much more difficult. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
So this is the value that I want to bring to younger children, is being able to, as they are developing psychologically, they're developing their interests and their aptitude as they get older. What you want to do is help them. You want to expose them to technical skills at a time where their brains are sponges. So I always liken this to martial arts, right? A lot of parents put their
Mhm.
kids in karate, taekwondo, jujitsu when they're younger. Some of the kids, they, gets a yellow belt or what have you, and then they stop. That's fine. At least they have some exposure. Other children stay with it till they get to be first, second degree, third degree black belts, and they have the, aside from being physically fit, they also have the discipline to learn a skill from beginning to expert level.
Right. Yeah, it
Right.
teaches you very yeah, a skill set that you wouldn't get any other way, really.
Exactly. So imagine if instead of, or in addition to having, a black belt in karate or jujitsu, if your kid was fluent in writing Java or Python,
Yeah, exactly. That would
they
be,
will pay their way. They'll easily pay their way through
gosh, can
college.
you imagine a whole, wow, that would be really kind of, that would be interesting.
Incredibly powerful
It
stuff.
would be, it would be. So tell me about your center specifically. Right now you have how many professors or instructors, or are they
So
teaching?
right now I have one instructor. She's a PhD in computer science.
Okay.
The so given the initial signups that I have, and since she'll be working there full time, she can easily, carry the workload of instructing students in everything from, comp sci, algebra. Obviously, I can jump in and teach things like chemistry, biology, like the things that I know and understand as well. Uh, and I will continue to hire uh, as we to meet demand.
Okay.
So I will be looking
So
for instructors as well,
yeah.
undergrad, master's degrees, looking for part-time work. I am the person. I would love for you to come talk to me. I'll just say it that way.
Okay, awesome. And so I mean, who's the ideal, I guess, student? I mean, what would be like the ideal person that you'd be looking for, and what wouldn't be?
Sure. The ideal student is one with the interest, right? So, similar to me growing up, there are a lot of children out there who either wanted to be doctors, astronauts, or anything else under the sun. Uh, they are curious about the world. They don't just like using things, they want to know how they work. You see this all the time.
Yeah.
So that would be the ideal student. And conversely, the student that would not be good for STEM tree is someone who doesn't have that interest,
Yeah.
doesn't have that curiosity. Uh, whether you have accelerated aptitude or not, that is fine,
Hmm.
right? The world is built not just on talent, but it is built on hard work.
Of
So
course.
if you have the interest, if you know your why, you can endure anyhow. So those are the students that I'm looking for.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So I know you have a grand opening coming up. Why don't you tell us about it?
Sure. The grand opening will be April 6th, so that's a Saturday at noon. The address is 101 Aragon Avenue,
Okay.
and it'll be a really, really nice event. You'll get to see the place. The place, it will be, minimum viable product, what we need to be operational. But you'll get to see, as I will explain it and kind of take people through the facility, what my larger vision is as I continue to expand on both the capabilities and the aesthetics. It will definitely be a place where the parents will want their kids to do everything from after school to summer camps to birthday parties or anything else you might be able to think of.
Really exciting. It's really, really exciting. And I think you said you're going to have the mayor.
That's right. The mayor has graciously offered to provide a keynote address. So
I mean,
very, very excited for that. There will also be other, local community leaders there who are also invested in, the future of our children, of our
yeah,
community's children.
this is fantastic. I'm gonna definitely spread the word with with my alumni, and then and also my office. My office is in Coral Gables, and we have 200 realtors, and we all work with families. So this would, be a natural. I'm gonna definitely send this out.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that. I'll also volunteer that this is something else that we were discussing before. STEM Tree really is for everybody.
Yes,
Right. So the I'm very pleased that the call for more women in STEM has become
yes,
a part of like the cultural zeitgeist, right? So not just something that is being discussed in very specific circles, but it is something that is being more generally discussed, and that we want to encourage our daughters as well as our sons to see this as a viable option for them, and for them
absolutely.
to choose it and then follow it to fulfill their dreams.
Yeah,
So I will say again, STEM tree really is for everyone, regardless of what your background is, gender or ethnicity.
I think that you are so impressive. I just have to say it again. You have impressed me. Like, I mean, I just the way that you took on everything from being a newer member with BNI. Um, you are just yeah. I mean, you don't do anything halfway. I mean, you just jump right in.
You
You
know, right?
studied everything. You did the entire, which was a lot, and you did it fast. It's a 90-day program. I think you did it in
Mhm.
like 60 days. And I can just see that this is going to be a success, and you are definitely the right person to lead this.
No, I appreciate it. And then like, just a quick plug for BNI. I think you and I were discussing this before as well. Uh, I met Kyle Ian Haggerty, right? Like our current chapter president at a Coral Gables event. He gave me the 30-second commercial
Right.
of what BNI is and the value that it provides. After subsequent conversations with him, the value was very obvious for
Well,
me.
well,
I
not for
really like the way
everybody,
it's structured.
It's interesting. I mean,
Sure,
or you saw it immediately. Like I did.
absolutely,
I did as well, but yeah, not everybody does.
100%.
So the key to that, as I see it, also is that you can identify opportunities like you've done in your entire life,
Hmm.
and just go with it. And that's something you can um, share with younger generations.
That's right. Run fast, run hard.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you so much. This has been super informative. Again, when is that the grand opening?
Grand opening is April 6th, Saturday at noon, 101 Aragon Avenue in Coral Gables. And if any listener wants to get in contact with me,
Mhm.
please email me at Coral Gables, one word, at STEMTree, so STEMTREE, STEMTree.com. Coral Gables at STEMTree.com.
Awesome. This has been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maji. I appreciate you. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you.